time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, and this is episode number 6 of our new podcast where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. We drink a ton. I'm talking a ton of coffee, but most importantly,
we hug our chickens every day.
And don't forget to hug your chicken today. We brew coffee from a local coffee house, Coffee here in Bel Air, Maryland. What kind of coffee are we brewing today, Holly Ann?
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut. So yummy. If you are local, head on over. They have the best, most fresh coffee and scones. You won't be disappointed. Trust us. So we're here. It's the beginning of January.
It's 2021.
Yay! I've never been so happy to see a brand new year in my life.
It was a difficult year in a lot of ways.
It was a long year. It felt like 2020 did not want to end.
Yeah, I mean, personally, especially at the end of the year, we had a lot of great opportunities and it was very transformative for us. But we do want to acknowledge that for a lot of people, it was a very difficult year.
Very, very difficult. But hey, we can spring into everything. It's 2021. We're ready for a new start, a new year. It's fresh. We want to hit it running.
We have our resolutions.
Sure. Oh yeah. We all know we shared those last week. So you'll hear me laughing a lot in this episode. Ha ha ha. I got to get my 100 laughs in a day.
Okay.
Are you drinking water with that coffee?
Yes, I am. I'm serious about the water.
So before we go into our breed spotlight, we want to just take a minute to tell you about Iowa Blue Farm. It's a woman-owned, family-run, all-natural chicken treat company in the Midwest.
And you know we love to support those women-owned businesses.
We are all about women empowerment, that's for sure. They make 100% American oven-dried black soldier fly grubs for all different kinds of poultry. So if you have chickens like we do, or ducks, or turkeys, or geese, these are the treats for you.
They are. They're fantastic. As our winter layers begin laying again, these are a great source of concentrated protein and calcium.
Because we want those shells to be nice and hard on those eggs. And with the winter, there's less light, but our winter layers are starting. My barred rocks are laying, so I give them these grubs every day.
The girls come running for the blue bag as soon as they see it.
That's what we keep saying. This blue bag is like totally evident to them. So a nice protein, calcium enriched snack is the way to go. So if you would like to give these grubs a try, head on over to iowabluefarm.com. You can buy them right on the website, and they're grown with love and shipped with care, and always
free shipping.
Always free shipping. So let's move into our breed spotlight now.
So this week we're doing the Cochin.
Yay!
The Cochin, and I know that you still are in love with the Cochin Bantams.
Yeah.
And for me, Cochins go way back. They were one of the first breeds of chickens I ever had.
Wow.
So I want to say in about 1997, it was right after I'd graduated from college, my sister Marcy and I went to England. We saved up for a trip to England.
I remember that trip.
Yeah. And one of the places we visited was Chatsworth, which is this great big manor. And like a lot of those big, huge manor houses, they had what they called the home farm.
Right.
And they kept chickens. And so, I mean, I knew chickens, growing up in 4-H, I was around chickens.
Oh, yeah.
But I really wasn't as breed crazy as I am now.
Right.
So we saw these big fluffy chickens with feathery feet, and we were just in love with them.
That's one thing I do love about the Cochins, are the
feathered
feet
mm-hmm.
and legs.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like it gives them a little more protection. I don't know what it is.
It could. You have to watch them in the mud, like freezing in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
So you try to keep some dry substrate for them if you can.
The other thing I heard is it's hard on molting to come through the legs.
Yeah, my Brahmas too. I'd forgotten actually when the pin feathers start to come through on their legs, it is difficult. So we feed them those Iowa blue grubs, and it really helps them.
It does.
So once we were home and we found out what this breed was, we bought chicks. We bought Rhode Island Reds, Arcanas, that was my choice, Barred Rocks, and we got Cochins. And we got the Cochins straight run. So there were 2 roosters. One of them was super nice.
And one was not.
Not so nice. He was the first rooster that ever chased me. He chased me across the farm. I jumped in with the llamas to get away from him.
And thank God in 97 there weren't the cell phones out to record that.
I was like, I was alternately laughing and squealing as I ran away from this rooster. He was gigantic. So yeah, we had a bunch of hens. We had these 2 roosters. They were gorgeous, feathery, lots of good personality. They are a heavyweight breed.
Right.
And again, with the tons of feathers and the feathered feet. But they come in a bantam as well.
They do, which, I'm crazy about the Cochin Bantam.
Yes.
Breed. But the other good thing to realize is with all the feathers, they're a cold hardy breed. Mm-hmm. They have smaller combs and wattles. So
much smaller, yeah.
You're not going to be looking for frostbite nearly as much.
Right.
And they're really cold hardy. So
yeah.
That's a good thing. Plus those feathers on the legs and stuff help keep them a little more warm.
Oh, they're so cute too.
Yeah. So they are considered
Cochins are considered one of the Asiatic breeds.
Right.
So they're believed to come from an area of China around Shanghai.
Nice.
They used to be called Cochin Chinas or Cochin China fowl. And they arrived in England sometime around 1843. Queen Victoria started with a pair. And as she grew her flock of Cochins, this craze for Cochins and Brahmas as well grew into what's now called hen fever.
Because everybody wants what the royals
Right.
have.
The U.S. and the UK were gripped with this.
Even back then, it's like, okay, the queen has this type of chicken, I must have it.
Right. People were paying, for that time period, people were paying gigantic amounts of money for these fancy breeds, especially these 2 Asiatics. And that same period of time also saw the origins of the modern chicken show.
Right, definitely. So, but when you look at the Cochin, they are a chicken that is eye-pleasing. So
yes.
They're bigger, they're fluffy, they kind of are in the same realm of like eye-pleasing, like the Orpington.
Right.
That kind of takes on that big, fluffy, you want to hug them.
Oh, you do want to hug them.
So, and that goes into their personality. They do have, the majority of them are sweet personality.
Oh, they're wonderful. They really are very genial. One of our first hens was Helga, and Helga would come and sit in my lap, and I don't know, I think I've been even more in love with chickens ever since then.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a lap chicken, that's for sure. But they also have had problems throughout the years.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
With, they were so overbred, and then they get to the certain point where then the numbers aren't there.
Right, the numbers started to dwindle. 100 years after this huge craze, they were a rare breed.
Right.
And they are currently on the Livestock Conservancy's recovering list, along with the Brahma, as people have taken an interest in them again in the last several years.
Oh yeah, they're a popular breed right now.
They are. So they were admitted to the American Poultry Association's Standards of Perfection in 1874. And they have a whole bunch of recognized colors.
A lot of colors.
A lot of colors, and they're all gorgeous.
I don't think that you can go wrong with any of the colors. Some examples are white, black, silver laced, golden laced. There's so many different colors. I think if you name it, it's there.
Yeah, there's a buff, there's a brown, there's barred, just like the barred rocks. There's Colombian, which has that black and white feather pattern like the light Brahmas and the Colombian Wyandottes.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the beautiful mottled Cochin. That's Chrissy's favorite.
Yes.
Which is usually a black with a white spangle to it.
If anybody listened to our bonus episode.
For December bonus episode where we talk about the poultry swap.
This is where I went goo goo gaga and almost walked away with this chicken until the lady told me it was hers.
Right. It had already been sold.
It was very disappointing. But then I basically said, I need this little chicken. And like with the bantams, I was like, I can fit more into my
Right? Well, that is a consideration because let me tell you, they can be big chickens.
Oh, they are a big breed. So, and like I have so many Orpingtons, those are super big. So a little chicken might be refreshing.
Sure.
To come in.
There's something about the bantams though. Like you can barely see their legs. They just look like this
so cute
little fluff walking.
But the Cochin does have that reputation of being a great chicken to have if you have children.
Right.
If you want, your chicken is, part of your family. And
I would still watch them around a rooster as I would watch any rooster around a kid.
Any rooster, definitely. They do have a really good reputation. They lay a brown egg.
They do.
And, like I said, there's good things. Cold hardy.
Yeah.
But then that's the other side. So if you're in a part of the country or the world that's really warm, you're going to have to make special provisions for them, like we've talked about before.
Fans,
with fans
right.
and different things, and spritzers and different things.
Electrolytes in the water, all
Right.
of those things.
So with every type of chicken. And Cochin is pretty popular. So if you're interested in this chicken, you can search up probably a lot of groups to be a part
Oh,
of.
absolutely.
Facebook groups, different groups that the Cochins out there.
Right, for both the standard and the bantam. And the bantam in some parts of the world is called a Pekin
Oh, that's
instead of a bantam Cochin.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to know too. And so if you're out there and you want to put something into these chickens, they're out there definitely.
You often see Cochins mentioned because of their broodiness. So they go broody very easily. And in fact, a lot of people who breed ducks and turkeys will keep Cochin hens because they will go broody and they will hatch those eggs for them. Mm-hmm.
To me, that's good and bad. Like, a broody hen is good and bad. So if you want to tell the hen there's no male. You can come out of the box.
But you can, apparently you can slip day-old chicks under a broody hen.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try it.
Me too.
But, and when we got the chicks this spring with Pearl, she was very interested. I mean, we went in and we had the brooder there.
Right.
And we had it covered. And we come out 5 minutes later and she's on top looking at them.
Really?
Yeah, and they were a day old and she's not a broody hen.
Yeah.
She was an Americana.
Right.
So, she just wasn't. But then when she jumped in with them.
Oh, that's
she
cute.
And then she never went after them. She was she took them under her wing, right then and there.
Okay.
And usually you can't do that.
Right.
But this chicken is known to do that. So.
Yeah. There are also winter layers, so you will get them to start laying earlier than a lot of breeds.
Nothing's better than a winter layer.
But they don't lay a ton of eggs. Like the Orpingtons, they're maybe 2 or 3 a week.
Right.
But if you're looking for a super sweet, really beautiful backyard chicken, they're not a bad choice.
No, they're beautiful, so they're good for pictures. This is the things I look for too. They're great with kids. They'll follow you for treats. They're going to want to be
Lap
with you.
chickens.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a companion chicken, this is a good chicken to look into.
Yes.
Plus one that's very pretty.
Right.
And, one that I may be searching for.
I did. I have seen it mentioned that the feathery feet don't tear up gardens as much.
I can see that.
No.
Really?
Oh, the Cochins and the Brahmas, they scratch everything up the same as all the other breeds.
They're all like...
They're not quite the mad foragers as some breeds are.
You can really see the difference. Although most of the breeds, a lot of the breeds that I have are foragers.
Right.
And the only one that isn't are the Morans. They're not into digging and getting the bugs.
Okay.
They want to come out and walk around and just be like, okay, I'm here. The other ones are digging.
Right.
So you can see it's inbred whether or not they want to forage or
Right.
not.
Super good foragers or not. Yeah. They didn't adapt with that need.
No.
In the case of the Cochins, they were popular show chickens. So they were probably fed good.
They had no purpose to
They
go
didn't
out
need
there
to
and
go
look
out
for
there,
a
right.
bug in the grass. They're
Right.
like, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
You don't have a spoon to feed me right now? I don't
Right.
think so.
Well, that kind of takes us into our main topic because feeding your chickens treats, our main topic this week is chicken treats and winter nutrition.
Yeah. We don't need a mixer.
We don't need a mixer, right? Chicken treats and winter nutrition for healthy chickens and good winter eggs.
Yes.
Because your chickens are what they eat.
Definitely. That's one thing that you learn as soon as you get chickens is you're eating what they're eating.
That's true.
Because their eggs are what they're eating.
Right.
So, and people will say like, hey, if you want your eggs to have a little garlicky taste, that's another good thing is to put some cloves of garlic in the water.
I've done garlic, and sometimes I'll chop up garlic and put it out with the treats, but I've never noticed a garlicky taste. I would not mind that.
Yeah.
But I've never noticed it.
Friends and neighbors who I give eggs to say that the eggs have like a really different, really good taste than other eggs. So they are what they eat. That's for sure.
Right.
So the other thing, that's what we wanted to say, is growing these things, greens, especially in the winter when you don't have, the grass is dead.
Right. They don't have access to a lot of green in the winter.
They don't. So growing sprouts is something that we wanted to mention. I have personally done this.
Yes, I do it too. I do it a lot.
Yeah, and it's so easy. I mean, you can go to Sprouts or any kind of organic market, most of them, and get the seeds for the sprouts right then and there. And it's so easy just to grow them and just water them every day.
Right. One of my favorite suppliers is online. It's Sprout People.
Okay.
But starting last year, because of COVID, there was a huge run on seeds. It used to be you could order from Sprout People and have your things in a week or so.
Right.
Now sometimes it's a couple of months before they can fill your order.
Everyone's like, if food goes out, we will have sprouts.
Exactly. Right. But their seeds are really high quality. You get almost all of them sprout and germinate. And they even have a bird mix,
which is nice.
It's really nice, yeah. So I sprout that, that out to the girls.
And then you could even tell everybody, hey, I eat sprouts. You really don't, but you're eating them through your eggs. So
I suppose that's true.
If you don't like sprouts.
Right.
I love sprouts all the time. And I grow them. You can grow them for your own sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, I do that too. Yeah, I definitely split them between me and the chickens. And the dogs love them too, which is really funny.
What's funny is to go out the first time of the winter season after you've grown them, and they look at them like they forgot them from last year.
Yes.
And they're like, what do you expect us to do?
It takes a few minutes. Some of my big eaters will dive right in, but the other ones are like, that is from Mars and I'm not eating that.
Because I don't even take them out of the pan. So I go to the dollar store basically and buy the reusable, the throwaway foil pans.
Oh, the pie pans. Yeah, yeah.
And basically just put the seeds in and then poke holes and use 2 of them and then they grow up through.
That's perfect. I actually have sprouters, but if I'm doing a whole lot, I'll probably start that method. It's a good cost-effective way to
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, because you get like 2 to 4. I use a smaller one.
Right.
For $1.
Yeah.
And then basically you just grow it up and then you take the pan out to them. And at first they look at you.
Right.
Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, you need to eat it. And then they're gone within 5 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, we
they gobble it down. So there have been, back to you are what you eat and your chicken's nutrition, there have been studies starting in the 1970s and onwards that prove over and over again that eggs from naturally raised pastured chickens are significantly higher in nutrients than eggs from caged hens.
And lower in cholesterol.
Exactly. In 2007, I remember reading this because I have subscribed to Mother Earth News for a long time. Mother Earth News did their own study in 2007, and they found that pastured chicken eggs contained a lot more folate and omega-3s and a lot less cholesterol and saturated fat.
Because they're getting what's from the earth,
right,
which is 100% natural, versus being fed something that isn't.
And they're exercising, and they're happy and healthy, and they're engaging in natural chicken behaviors.
Well, it goes way back to saying a long time ago, we won't say when we were kids, but when we were kids. And you were told that eggs were healthy for you.
Right.
You could only eat 1 egg a week.
Come
on now.
Right. We ate them anyway because my mom has always been a big believer.
We had them for dinner. We had them for,
absolutely.
We had them all the time.
Eggs all the time.
And then now, as we've gone through time and they're doing all these studies, it's like, okay, you are what you eat. So the chicken, a natural chicken egg that is in your backyard, is foraging in the grass, and you're giving, really good feed. It's lower in cholesterol, higher in nutrients, higher in antioxidants, all these things that are good for you. Right. So we want to give them all the healthy stuff.
Absolutely.
So many people, resolutions we talked about before, being healthier. Being healthier can start with chickens. It's easy.
It's really a beautiful relationship when you think about it. We take care of them, we protect them, we provide them with the chance to act like regular chickens, and we provide them with high quality nutrients, and they present us with eggs.
Right. Perfect pet.
It really, they absolutely are.
I don't even call them pets. They're my feathered babies. If anybody's ever seen our post out, I refer to them as feathered babies.
If you see the feathered babies, you know that's a Chrissy post.
They are. So,
but I love my chickens just as much.
Oh yeah. So if you're out there, so those are the types of things that just to kind of pay attention to when you're, giving them treats.
Sometimes if you're reading about sprouting greens for your chickens, you see fodder mentioned.
Yes, I've done that too.
Yeah, just as an aside, fodder are sprouts that
sprouts.
Right, they've grown longer than 3 inches.
Yes.
A lot of times you can get barley seed from your local farm supply store, and it's pretty inexpensive. It sprouts really well. I always use the fodder for my woolly creatures. I never gave the fodder to the chickens because I'm just afraid that longer
in the crop.
length. Yeah, exactly.
I don't let them go past maybe close to 3 inches.
If you leave them in the dish, though, if you leave them as a root mat in the dish, it could be that the chickens are just tearing bits off and not gobbling down the whole thing.
They're probably not, because I just leave them in that baking dish and they're just taking the top. Then they're taking bites.
Right. They're
so
pulling it apart. That's probably a good idea.
That's like with snacks. Like when you're using the things that we've all found, like I don't give cucumber skins anymore because I find that they're too long. And you have to, if you can give a cucumber with the skin on it, and then they're taking bites.
Right.
But if you peel a cucumber, that can get into the crop. So just being aware of the snacks that we're giving them and just being healthy with those types of things.
Microgreens.
That's what I was about to mention too.
Microgreens are another great option. I started growing them. This was my COVID reaction. I set up a big front window garden in my art studio with giant flats with seed starter, and we grew the microgreens. And I have to tell you, in the frigid days of February, to go in there and have these flats of fresh greens, we were eating them, the chickens were eating them. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it makes you feel a lot better to have something natural. And usually if you're in a window, you're going to get that sunlight through.
Exactly.
It's enough to help it grow through.
Yes.
The other thing that we always mention is the soldier fly grubs.
Right.
Which Iowa Blue Farms, they do an excellent job with these, but they are another good, healthy snack that you can give your birds to have high protein, high calcium in the winter, because there's less sun.
Right.
And they need those hours of daylight, but the winter layers, they do it without the extra hours.
It's true.
So these snacks are really important.
I've actually switched completely to using soldier fly grubs and not mealworms, because the mealworms have the calcium. The mealworms have the protein, but they don't have anywhere near as much calcium as the soldier fly grubs have.
Exactly. So that's why we've done the same thing. We've switched completely over. Pumpkins are also a good, if you can find them.
Right.
Now, we had so many pumpkins in the fall, and they kind of act as a natural dewormer. You can kind of give them.
I've heard that.
It's the seeds.
Right. I've heard that.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't rely if you have an actual outbreak.
Oh yeah,
parasite,
don't rely on that.
Don't rely on that, but I think it can be a good deterrent, a good preventative.
Yeah. So you can cut your pumpkin in fourths or whatever, and if it has a natural kind of way about it, it can help prevent, it can help lighten the load, but it's not going to take it away completely.
Right. If you actually have a serious parasite outbreak in your flock, you need to deworm.
And let's just put that out there. Everyone has had it.
Absolutely.
And it's a normal thing.
The parasites are in the soil. Wild birds carry them.
Yes. And if your chickens are eating if they're free ranging in the grass or any place else, you're going to get hit with
eventually
it.
You're going to get some parasites.
Yeah, and it's completely natural. You just deal with it when it comes. But the pumpkins are good.
The pumpkins we were just talking about Cochins, and pumpkins make me laugh because with all of my chickens now, I have to cut a pumpkin open and put it out. When we had the Cochins, we could put a whole pumpkin out there, and the Cochins would peck giant holes in it.
Really?
Yes. They devoured pumpkins.
Now, right now, my chickens are so spoiled. They're like, is that cut in eighths? Is it sliced?
Right. Mom, we need these sliced just right before we'll eat them.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, we thought it was cantaloupe. We're not eating it.
Right.
They go wild over cantaloupe. So that's the other thing to remember with keeping treats healthy. Anything that is not good for you is not going to be good for your chicken.
Right.
One of the key things to remember is snack-wise, salty snacks are not good for them.
Right. Natural fats, things like sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
And again, I like to just get the sunflower seed. The meats.
Everything that you're going to get like that needs to be raw.
Right. Raw.
You don't
want the fat or salt if it's been roasted.
Right. So anything that you're going to get, so I like to give them actual like pumpkin seed out of the shell.
Sure.
And funniest story is we go over to Sprouts and Joe's like, oh, what are we getting? And I'm like, pumpkin seed. He's like, oh, okay. And he gets up to the cash register like $15 for like 2 pounds. And then he's like, you are not going to tell me that these are for these chickens.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Oh, yes, they are.
And he's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh yeah, my chickens get the best. So, you know, they have to be raw and unroasted.
Right.
You know, and it's just like with Grace and my African gray parrot. He gets peanuts as a snack.
Sure.
But we have to make sure that they're raw and unroasted and
unsalted. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So those are the types of things that we can keep them healthier.
I've also slipped the girls some dried cricket treats.
I have not done that.
And they really devour them. They love them.
So right when it starts to get dark, I only know this because one night I had to go back to the run, and we kind of had like I was just double checking something, and inside my run were 1 million crickets.
Really?
Yes, but it was just dark. And I always see them in the corners at dusk.
Okay.
And I think they're eating the crickets. I don't know where these crickets come from.
I don't know. My place is like Cricket City. You can't walk through the grass without 1 million crickets jumping out.
That's why Drew loved your place.
Yeah, she had the best time hunting crickets, and my Swedish flowers lose their minds over the crickets.
I remember when we pulled her out, and we sat there and talked for 20 minutes, and she must have had 100 crickets that day.
Yeah.
She was just like catching them.
In the grass, catching crickets like crazy. So if you can find the dried ones in winter, they're a nice little snack to slip the girls.
Oh, that would be a good idea. Should we move on, you think?
I think we can.
Okay, so this is our cracking the eggs.
Cracking the eggs. Okay. So keeping with our theme of healthier,
and you're in winter.
Yeah.
So you kind of want comfort too.
Right. So this is a veggie dish. It's super delicious.
It is really good.
You can keep it light. You can keep it as is. But if you're looking to make it a little heartier, you can serve it over polenta.
And this is what we go for in recipes. Make your own.
Yes.
An outline to a recipe that you can use to be creative.
Right.
So we're going to do baked eggs with mushrooms and greens. And it's delicious.
It really is delicious. Again, if you want it heartier, you can serve it over pasta or polenta. It can be one pot. If you make it in, say, an iron skillet, that can go from stovetop into the oven.
If you wanted a little heartier too, you could add a little cream in it.
You can. So you can make this, and again, I put the variations in our recipe. You can make this with just stock to keep it super light.
Right.
You can put a little bit of cream in it to give it that sort of
fluffier,
creamier, richer taste.
Yes.
And the dairy-free version is I use oat milk creamer. The oat creamer is really thick and creamy. So I use a little bit of that. You can use that too if you're just looking for a lighter version. You don't want all the cholesterol from the cream.
Because we're talking about health here.
That's right.
So yeah, definitely you could use that.
You can use whatever kind of mushrooms you like. You can use white button, anything up to shiitakes or oyster mushrooms.
Definitely. So do you want to kind of explain what we do with it a little bit?
Sure. So again, you can start with something oven proof, like an iron skillet or a Dutch oven.
Yeah.
Right. I do it in my cast iron Dutch oven. So a little bit of olive oil. You saute the mushrooms until they've released a lot of their juice. You put the spinach or greens. I really like Swiss chard for this.
Oh yeah, but you feel like you're putting a boatload.
You do all these, and then they
happens to me every time.
Right? You'll go with a bag or two, and then they wilt down to a couple of cups.
Where did they go?
Right.
What happened?
So you saute them until they wilt, and then you add your stock or your cream or whatever you're using.
Right.
Your seasonings, and then that's the fun part. You make indentations in it. You crack your eggs in it.
Yes.
And you put it in the oven.
And then you just let it bake.
You just let it bake. Yeah. Yep. Pop it into the oven that way.
It's even if you made it a little heavier, it's still healthy. It still has the protein, the calcium from the eggs,
and all that good fiber. Yeah.
The greens are superfoods.
Yes. The mushrooms too.
Yes. So it's still healthy. It could be breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Absolutely.
And it's using eggs. If you have winter layers, it's a good way to do them. If not, what do we say? You got to take the walk of shame. But hey. So that is a good one.
That's our crack in the eggs.
That's our crack in the eggs. We always say this, but seriously, if you make it send us a picture.
Yeah.
We love to see it. We'll actually, even if you make it, you send us a picture, we'll give you a shout out on Instagram.
Absolutely.
We would love, love, love. So hashtag Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, or just tag us at Instagram, Coffee with the Chicken Ladies.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our, should I do another sound? Retail therapy.
Retail therapy.
Yay!
So this week we're doing Alexa Volk, the Henfluencer.
Her stuff is, can I say this, adorbs.
It really is. Your girls are going to be like, Mom, did you just say that?
It's so cute.
It really is. So the Henfluencer, it's a branding, illustration, and merchandise company. And we absolutely love her designs.
And you know what other thing is good about her? You get some freebies on this website.
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
It's worth it to look her up, to look at her stuff. Now, we have looked at mostly everything. We have a wish list, right?
We always have a wish list.
We always have a wish list. But, oh my goodness, that baseball tee, All My Friends Are Hens.
That's my absolute favorite thing on the whole
Love
website.
it.
I love it too. Yeah.
It has barred rocks on it.
Yeah.
It's super cute.
I'm going to pretend they're Dominique's, but that's okay.
It's not a bad price either. It's like $25.
Not bad. Not bad.
And for a chicken tee, really no price is a bad price, but $25 is pretty good. And the egg labels that you can print out, there's freebies.
Those are freebies. The colors are beautiful on them.
They are.
Literally, they're labels that you can put on your egg cartons.
And there's some where you can pick your own hair color of the girl.
I saw that. That's really cute.
I need the one with the red hair.
So do I.
I know.
I wish your girls were still babies, because the baby onesies that she has on here.
Oh my God.
They're the cutest thing ever.
Can you imagine if you had a friend who was having a baby shower, a small baby shower, or you wanted to give her a welcome baby gift, and she had chickens?
Maybe all I would give her were onesies with chickens on them.
Or just buy the chicken onesie and try to put it on the dog or something. That would be cute.
My goodness.
I love it. It's so cute. There's a chicken on it holding a balloon.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Cute. She also has some scarves on here, which are really pretty.
She has cards, lovely cards for different occasions.
And iPhone screensavers for free. So, you go on the website and there's stuff that it's just it's a lot of stuff to look at.
Yeah.
It's worth to give her a look. And like I said, she has some really, really cute t-shirts. All My Friends Are Hens. I can't say that it's 100%, but a lot of my friends.
But that really is my favorite item in
her store. You
her
can take
store.
it different ways too. Like, all my friends are hens or girls.
Right, there you go. Girl power.
Girl power. Doesn't everyone love hearing my singing?
I really had no idea that you were this enthusiastic about singing.
Yes, you did. How many times would we be sitting in class and I would be singing something, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm never going to get away from this.
It's like you cracked yourself up, but sometimes I think
still
you were.
do.
Sometimes I thought you were cracking up more at the look on my face than you were at your own singing.
Well, sometimes, yeah. That both of the things make me laugh.
I gotta tell you, in middle school, I was like, my God, she's not doing that again, is she? By the time we got to high school, I was like, yeah,
she's
Chrissy's
still
singing
it.
again.
And now the girls are like, will you please stop making up songs about
Mom.
everything? Like, no, it's my thing.
Okay. Well.
Okay, so we kind of went through everything, and we want everybody that's out there to stay warm, because we know January, if you're in a cold area,
It's cold.
it's cold. It's cold here.
Flip on those cozy coop heaters if you're going to get
If
below
you have
zero.
some roofs and you got some high
Combs, yeah.
You want to protect and just stay warm. Hey, the cracking the eggs recipe is a good one to have by a fireplace.
Yeah.
And stay cozy. So until next time, hug your chicken every day. Don't forget.
Thanks for listening.
We'll
Bye-bye.
see you later. Bye-bye.
If you'd like to see more from us, follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. To send us comments, feedback, suggestion, or questions, email us directly, Chrissie&Holly at coffeewiththechickenladies.com. Thanks for listening.